This is Ed. He's mostly seen on the streets of downtown holding a sign preaching the good word of the Lord. Ed is wicked religious, and he's not shy talking about his viewpoints.
Yeah, they're teaching the globe. We certainly don't live on the globe when all the jet pilots know that they're supposed to fly by a flat earth map. Yeah, how's that? Saved by the blood of the...
He is a public figure to college students here. You could even pass him as a street performer. And some of the college kids here don't really appreciate his time.
We've had enough. Just shush. Just shush.
For the past 2 to 3 years, Ed has been standing in Farmington preaching and singing to the UMF kids, and they're getting pretty tired of it. What was your first impression of Ed?
I first saw Ed downtown. It was like the third day after moving in, and he yelled a lot of degrading stuff at me, and I was with one of my guy friends at the time, and there was a cop involved, so not great first impressions.
I kind of got a little bit of background research. My sister's friend went to Farmington before me, a couple years ahead, and so she warned me immediately right off. She's like, there's this church guy he's going to call you things. And so I was like, it can't be that big of a deal. And I went there, and the first time I saw him, there was a group of people around him, like, yelling at him, and he's yelling at them, and I was like, wow. This is way bigger than I thought.
I heard him yelling at people that they were going to hell and that like all stoners and queers will burn in hell. So I immediately just assumed that he was a shitty, awful person. So I fucked with him a lot, stole his sign, I'd yell at him, stole his sign 2 more times. I mostly just fucked with him.
My first impression, not good. We got in some yelling matches.
Just think he's kind of polarizing, to be honest.
I'm from Florida, and so honestly, I just thought that he was like a crazy person. Like, we have a lot of those.
He like jumped out like in front of like the cars, so I was like, what is happening right here? I'm just trying to get to the dining hall.
My first impression of Ed was, this guy's really goofy. All he does is stand outside in the cold all day and just yell at people and say racist and rude slurs.
Who's this guy with the sign, and what the heck are you doing?
I thought he was just some kind of like weird old dude that just kind of hung around campus. I mean, I'd heard all kinds of stories from a couple semesters ago, so he was just kind of a campus celebrity as far as I knew.
Well, I'm religious. I'm a Christian, and so I sort of appreciated what he was doing at first. I thought genuinely like, oh, he's trying to spread the message that I very much agree with. But as time went on, that very much became untrue and was shown to not be what he was doing, and so I kind of stopped liking him.
It's to a point where he's pretty much permanently stationed in front of the library and also the hall where most of the college kids go to eat and have other classes and clubs. So he gets to see some college kids quite often.
They're coming out with 23 new vaccines.
Don't take them.
I'm going to take all of them. I'm going to be drinking them like Kool-Aid.
Not if I can stop you.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I don't want you to die.
Well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to stop me?
Well, I'm going to be in line.
You're going to buy all the vaccines?
No, I'm going to be in line, and I'm going to put my hand out and prevent you from getting a shot.
Step back. You don't need to approach me like that. Please just keep your distance. Thank you.
6 feet?
Sure, yeah, 6 feet. That's perfect.
It just represents a lot of shitty things that are going on in our world right now, and it's really disappointing to come out every day to just like spread that type of shit, but at the same time I am a little fascinated by like his commitment to it.
Even in the ice cold and the scorching sun, and even some physical altercations, Ed still shows up every day to preach. So what's your excuse for missing work or being late to class? But as persistent as Ed is, the college kids here don't agree with his message.
So much. Almost everything.
Everything. Absolutely everything.
Other than everything? Every time I walk by him, he just tells me I need to be reborn again, but I feel like that's a weird thing to say to someone.
And then he was like, are you queer or normal the other day?
He yelled at me a couple of times for wearing makeup, and I don't wear makeup often, so it's not like a huge thing.
This would be so shitty. Like, oh, I'm gonna go out and wear makeup for the first time and just insulted by.
It's not even that. I literally only wear like a little bit of eyeliner, mascara, and do my eyebrows, and very rarely do I do my lips. So it's not even that heavy of makeup, so I don't know how you can tell.
His whole fundamental thinking, I think, is flawed. I mean, he's racist and homophobic. I don't know why someone who's trying to get anyone to join their religion would go about it attacking people.
I disagree with his exclusionary view of Christianity and his hate speech and his hatred. It's not true what he says, that God doesn't love people who are part of the LGBTQ community, that obviously it's not true that the earth is flat.
Flat earth, although with recent things in the news, I'm starting to question it. UFOs in Ohio, it's getting too much.
I think he's terribly misguided, probably ill in some capacity. I kind of feel bad for him, and I know that sounds weird considering what he's saying, but I just feel like he wouldn't be saying this if he wasn't terribly ill and confused. And I'm angry with him too, and I don't think he's doing what's right. I think he's hurting the cause, and the cause that he's trying to help is something I agree with. I agree with spreading Christianity.
So I'm a Christian man, and he obviously thinks he's like a Christian man, but he preaches a lot of the Old Testament, and it's not at all what Christianity should be looked at. It's false that Christians hate gay people. That's so false.
And there's people who talk around campus about how they don't like Christians and they have all this negative opinion about Christians. And I'm like, honestly, that's fair considering your exposure to it is ed.
You're the only professor on campus, and you're going to teach all the students how to live happily.
You're good.
And he's going to get rid of psychology and replace it with
Yeah,
Bible.
he thinks we should have Bible study.
Good for you.
I have a lot of sympathy for Ed.
He just has something going on, and it's, we're just promoting it and making it worse, honestly.
Childhood trauma combined with being indoctrinated into a cult. In his mind, he justifies what he does by with Christianity, but in reality, it's really him just taking out his own anger with the world on students with the general idea that it's for the greater good.
To be honest, without him, it would have made UMaine Farmington actually fun to come here, because it would have been boring. Because to see his comments and stuff like that sometimes makes you laugh, because you know how other people see the other words in the world. But to be honest, it's okay.
He's kind of boosted my TikTok a lot, because I made a TikTok about him. I got 1,000 views. It's pretty funny. So in that regard, it's funny, and I'm glad it could benefit me in some way.
Hey, but I love the professors here. Can we keep them?
Okay, well, they can sit in class and learn with you.
Is there a question you'd like to ask?
Are you gay yourself?
How? How does he have the time and the stamina to stand out there all day?
Why are you still doing this? And do you really think this is your best approach?
Why does he like to stand out in the cold all day and just yell at people?
Were you loved as a child?
Is he getting reinforcement from somebody? Is he why does he think he's in the right,
I wish I could speak with the people around him more likely, like his son, just to know how it happened. Because I mean, the most interesting question I've ever asked Ed was do you still love people who are different than you and that don't see the same views of you? And he still said yes, but that's not a way of defending him, because how he tries to spread his message is obviously wrong and very, very harmful to anybody who takes offense to him.
Does he get a weird, slightly twisted satisfaction from this, or is he genuinely concerned about the future generation in his own way? I wanted to personally find out the feud between Ed and Special Ed. So to find out, I interviewed the guy. You can watch the full interview on Canna Cabana's YouTube channel at Canna Cabana CC. What do you think would make the relationship between you and the college kids better?
Well, maybe if I wouldn't holler so much with them, and so I kind of made a deal with a lesbian that I would be calmer in front of the student union, but I want Main Street to be my old self again.
Let me know what you guys think of Ed in the comments. Do you think he is a positive influence or a negative influence? Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.